cheers everyone. This is going to be our second attempt at season 3, episode 9. Uh, we had some issues last week with the audio on my part, so hopefully the solar storms aren't going to affect it this week. um,
I think everything was actually okay. I saw like there was a couple Starlink satellites that had some issues, but the thing that this like doomsday scenario we talk about like with
yeah,
like these massive solar storms, it doesn't seem like anything was any services were disrupted or anything.
I
Man,
heard Sweden and South Africa had some outages, but
yeah,
nothing. I
I
haven't
was
didn't hear anything about the U.S.
I'm on my like FM receiver yesterday, like just picking up like I'm like, is anything going on? Like anyone out there? Is the world ending? Um yeah, I have a lot of silly prepper type things, including
Yeah.
this and like a little dedicated GPS system that runs off Russian satellites. So hey, if our thing
Oh,
goes down, I can get on the I think it's called like GLONASS or something. I can use some Russian satellites
they
to
should
still
call
figure it
it
out.
Sputnik or something.
It's pretty good. All right, cheers, man.
Cheers. All right. To start out, I was thinking we could play a little game.
Okay.
Inspired by Urban Dictionary. It's going to be like Urban Thesaurus, and we're going to come up with some slang names for butt.
Okay. Cool.
Um, Go ahead and toss them out. Any that you think
Um,
of.
Caboose. I'm a big fan of a caboose.
I like caboose. Dump
What what
truck.
what do you got? Dump truck? Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a little outdated, but I like cheeks. I think cheeks are cute.
that's nice.
Um,
I did have caboose also on my list. What about
really?
trunk?
Trunk? Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
junk in the trunk.
yeah, that makes sense.
That's a thing.
I like can. That's kind of like it makes me feel like I'm like an old, I don't know, like a northeastern guy, and be like, kick him in
Can.
the can.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I have some that are not like attractive sounding, like tutor.
Yeah, that's gross. Yeah.
It gets
Yeah.
worse though. I have another one. I'll tell you.
I like derriere. Isn't that like a kind of southern type thing? Like I feel like that would be something like southernish. Like you, like someone would be like he spanked my derriere.
Yeah, that
Like
sounds.
my best southern woman voice.
um, Here's an even worse one. Pooper.
Yeah. See, when you start talking about the things that come out of the butt,
Yes, it's
it really
gross.
starts ruining it. It's fun to talk about the shape,
Yeah,
the feel,
yeah,
but not the contents. The contents of the butt bother me.
yeah. No, it
Just
does not sound good. Um, what's another one you have? Do you have any others?
um how about keister? That's old man
Easter?
stuff.
Yeah.
I like that.
Rear end?
That's pretty classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not really. Yeah.
I
Heine?
like I like bottom. I think just calling it the bottom, I think that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I'm not really a butt guy, but I do like a lot of the words for butt.
Yeah. Backdoor.
Damn, dude. This thing is not going to get promoted. Not safe for children.
Yeah. Well, we can cut this out too if it's.
No, let's
I
not cut
just.
anything. Let's
Yeah.
let's keep it all. It's all gold.
Keep it raw.
Um,
Um. Go ahead.
I can't think of any more. I'm like I think I'm repeating myself now.
Yeah. We covered every slang word for butt that I could think of, but
I
I'm
feel
sure
like
if
we
we.
covered them in different demographics as well. There was
Yeah.
sort of like, oh, like this old man would say this. Southern Belle, she'll say this. Guy from the '90s, he's gonna say dump truck.
I feel like I've heard that more recently, but dump truck.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's all cyclical.
Yeah.
These things they come and go.
Right. All right. Well, last week we talked about some stuff that nobody got to listen to. Lab grown meat. Some states that are
Oh
banning it.
yeah.
You want to talk about
So Ron,
Florida?
Ron DeSantis, like he said the global elitist lab grown meat. It's not allowed in Florida, and I guess now it's not allowed in
Yeah.
other parts of the Southeast. Um,
I think it just might be Florida and Alabama right now. Yeah, I think Alabama did
okay.
it within this past week, and they're
I'm,
they're actually you can go to jail, I guess, if you
that's a
grow lab
little
meat. Yeah,
excessive.
three
See,
months of jail or
okay.
a $500 fine, or and a $500 fine. I don't know how
Mm.
they're gonna enforce
Yeah, I mean,
this.
I'm actually all for this lab grown meat, just with more research.
Yeah,
Let's make sure there's no kind of secret side effects that we didn't quite anticipate. Maybe there's something there. Uh, but yeah, I'm all for it. I
yeah,
mean,
me too. I I think
it's a
it
little
might
weird,
be
but
I think it might be the industrial cattle complex that's
mm,
pushing this
big, big
big
cattle.
cattle.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, special interests.
I'm definitely more for like lab grown meat than I am for like the plant based ones. You know,
Hmm.
those are gross to me. But yeah, I'll buy some lab grown chicken if it's legal in Colorado after I see a little bit of proof of concept that this is like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Does lab grown meat have a soul?
I mean,
What is the soul?
I don't know. It feels like it should be something that vegans would want too, right? Because like you're
That's what
not,
I'm thinking.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I
but
do
but
understand the religious part to it, where people are like, "Hey, God made animals. This is man-made
right,
stuff. It's not." You know what I mean? I think that's a silly argument
yeah,
because you're still you
right. We're
to start this out, you have to have real animal cells to
exactly.
begin this.
And also we play God all the time. Like that's part of progress is doing miraculous discoveries in the
Right.
lab, and things in space and things on a computer. So yeah, that is a silly argument when people are just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. I wonder
well,
if there's going to be more states that do that or enforce bans.
probably, yeah.
Yeah. My guess
Like
is it may just be a conservative thing right now.
you think, yeah, maybe it
And I
is.
think I think it's the religious angle or its special interests. Maybe it will, I mean, liberal states are also definitely guilty of special interests, so I could see, them having an influence too. But
Maybe it's just the way that like Ron DeSantis kind of set up the narrative with the global elitist lab grown meat, He sort of
uh,
framed it in a specific way, and that sort of just makes people, I think, immediately go like, you know what, that is a GOP issue. I
mhm.
don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, what he said, we're not going to do. I have a quote from him. Take your fake
Okay.
lab grown meat elsewhere. It's Ron DeSantis.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. well, well, I'm gonna look into that for like next week, or maybe I'll talk about it on the after show. I want to see what states are making this, like investing into this,
Mhm.
and what states are just kind of being a little cagey about it.
Yeah.
We could even gamify that.
Yeah, probably.
Lab-grown meat in Hawaii? You think they do it? I don't think they would do it there.
Or
Uh,
what's the next state to ban it?
Texas
Texas.
for sure. Big cattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I could see that. I could see like Alaska, Hawaii, the ones that are sort of like their own thing.
Hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. And also the like Alaska, it's so into like, big game and stuff. They're probably all about just like, no, we got plenty of real meat to eat up here. We don't need to make it yet. It's not the end of the world yet.
Yeah. I wonder too if it's like a if it could bring like the cost down. I don't understand the science to it. Like how long does it take to like grow like
I don't know.
a good amount of meat? Seems like it'd be a very slow process, so I
It's
don't know
probably
how it would
really
work.
expensive and really inefficient right now, if I'm
Yeah.
just guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a,
probably
it's a
something for
whole
people that want cruelty-free food or something. Like that's the way they can
right.
market it.
Well,
But
from the videos I've seen of it where people are like cutting into it, it does behave and look and feel like meat just from my visual kind of like review of it. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's not what I expected. It has intramuscular fat. It has like the striations of the muscle in the way. It's not like all just like a amorphous blob of protein,
yeah.
It's interesting.
Monday, uh, the Boeing Starliner got canceled. It's supposed to take
Right.
off. Apparently they had an issue with an oxygen relief valve.
Yeah,
That
I saw that.
yeah.
Um, Yeah, and also since last week, I think there's been three other big Boeing incidents, with like
Oh, really?
planes, yeah, like planes landing gears not opening and then doing kind of like a belly landing on a runway. That was like a FedEx plane. And then there was, I think it was like Senegal or something. There was one that caught on fire and then landed. And I think actually people might have passed away on that one.
Jeez.
It's just wild how much bad Boeing stuff is happening all at once. Um, yeah. So when was the thing rescheduled? I saw it was, they said like their window was like till May 17th was like, I think like somewhere around there. Um, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm worried for those astronauts though,
I think they may want to do another test flight without an unmanned test flight
Maybe,
again.
maybe that.
May 17th. Yeah. That's what you said, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So it's really only SpaceX and Boeing that are shuttling astronauts, right? Or that will
Uh,
be eventually. I don't think there's
yeah.
any other companies doing this. But
Not
yeah,
yet.
Boeing's not doing great.
Boeing's in decline. It's so weird. My my parents well, they flew yesterday to New York, and I was like looking up the flight information. I was like, I hope they're not on a Boeing.
Right.
Like I was actually thinking about that, and that's a weird place to like live in the world, where you're like, is that a safe like a safe plane anymore?
Yeah.
Safe company?
Did you, are you the one that, I think you told me this. You can now like see, maybe you didn't tell me this. You can actually check to see what plane, like when you're ordering tickets, I think you can actually find out ahead of time,
Okay.
what plane that your flight's going to be, like what model.
Uh,
It's
yeah.
kind of, yeah, I don't think they used to publish that
I think
before,
it's always been on the ticket, but I think people are now actually looking at that and
or
they're
trying to
making
look it up.
decisions.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
they're
it's
like,
not something that all airline sites, like these like Priceline
right.
or what have
Yeah,
you.
I think it's always been a part of like getting your boarding pass and stuff. You get all that information, but
Yeah.
now people are making informed decisions because
They're
of
like, I'm
the
not gonna
shit
do this
show that
flight.
is Boeing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, dude. What a time. Um, well, I kind of actually hope they do that, like an unmanned Starliner,
Yeah.
because it doesn't seem like the risk is worth it. Um, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. Um, Hang on one second. I need to close my door.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell some secrets about Kevin while he's gone. So Kevin has this thing about butts that is. Oh, he's back. I mean, you saw how he started the episode, people. There's something
I
to it.
love butts. Yeah.
He's a keister man, people.
That's me. Um, did you have anything else space related? I didn't really
I
have.
don't think I don't think I have space, but well, I guess we could talk a little more about the solar storm, or did we cover it? I don't know. I feel like,
We
I,
sort of did in the intro. We kind of,
yeah, I really wanted to, because it was like, it was happening here
yeah,
in Colorado, but the ambient light the city lights kind of kill it. So like they're like go about an hour and a half out of town, and it's beautiful. I saw some
yeah.
cool pictures, but
I saw
you
some
know,
really cool pictures in Alabama. Like, there's
yeah.
a, what is it called? Oak Mountain. That's right by me. And yeah, it's a lot of really cool pictures because there's less light pollution over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little south of where I'm at. But I think even in Florida they saw northern lights, which is
Wow, that's
crazy.
so wild.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, someday I'll see it. I'd really like to see proper one though, like go to Alaska or go to like
Yeah.
Switzerland or some Norway, um, and see like the real deal, not just sort of like
Yeah. It's supposed to,
this was like a little treat for people that are
yeah.
not in like that region. But
It's supposed to be all
I'd like,
weekend too. It'll be tonight. You
really?
should still be able to see. It won't be as strong, I think, as yesterday, but
Uh-huh.
you're still supposed to be able to see it. So if you live in an area that doesn't have a lot of light pollution, you should check it out. I think maybe
Yeah.
Sunday too. I gotta look it up,
Wow.
but it made it sound
What
like
an
it was going to be a weekend thing.
epic solar storm. So yeah, I think it was like the biggest solar event since 2005. I think I read that correctly.
Yeah, I read that too.
I don't recall anything from 2000. Then again, that's a long time ago. I don't really remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I just remember early 2000s. I don't remember if it was 2005, but cheers. That's when I graduated high school.
Hey, good for you, dude.
Yeah, I did it. Look at me now. I'm on YouTube.
Look at me now, Dad. I'm a podcaster.
Hmm. Uh,
Yeah, I don't have anything space really.
in space.
Let's see. Got some stuff that's sort of like, on the edge of politics.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so the Boy Scouts of America are no more. Now it's called Scouting America, and they're letting girls in. I don't know. I think it's kind of not the point. There are Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I heard they
I
they
was
started letting girls in a couple years back, right? Like this isn't a new.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But this is like sort of like the naming convention. Sort of, I think it even makes it like, oh, we're even more accepting. I
Right.
read the Girl Scouts their position on this, like if they had any plans to integrate or change the name, and they said we have no plans to do anything like that. It's Girl Scouts for girls, and I was like, you know what? I stand with the Girl Scouts on this one. I was a Boy Scout. Were you ever a Cub Scout or Boy
I was
Scout or whatever?
I never made it to a full boy. I was always a cub. I stopped at Weebelo, and that was like right before you become a,
I
a,
think
a
that
Boy Scout.
okay, then I guess that was probably my last year
Oh,
doing it
okay.
as well.
So we're
Yeah, I
both.
don't know if I ever became a proper boy, but I was a weeblo. I remember that term for sure.
Yeah,
I
Weebelo is the
still have
last
a
one
lot
I
of
had.
my badges and stuff. I think I still have all of them and
Really?
pins and all that
Dude,
stuff.
I,
Yeah.
I I didn't save hardly anything with all the random moves.
No, no, I didn't. It was like something I think like was in one of my mom's storage units or something, and
Oh,
she gave me
okay.
this like bag, and I was like, wow, what a cool thing to like kind of still have. And then I have like my original Ninja Turtles, all the stuff that was like I was like
Nice.
lost to time. I thought it was lost to time.
Oh,
I need to look
speaking
that.
speaking of your mom, Happy Mother's
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
And
Happy
to my
Mother's Day to
wife
all the
and
moms, your
yeah,
wife,
my
and
mom.
yeah, she's in New York seeing my sister right now, and then her and Bill are going on a cruise, like an Alaskan
Oh,
cruise.
nice.
Pretty cool.
I remember you telling me about that. So she
Yeah,
talked him into it, huh?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I would love to do that someday, but this is their thing. Um, yeah, Happy Mother's Day. If there's any mothers watching right now, thank you for your service. Mothers are very important.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Um, so yeah, that Scouting America thing is just kind of silly. It's definitely like more of a, I feel like a Fox Business type story. um, Another one. This is actually pretty funny. Okay, so in San Francisco, there's this program. It's called like Managed Alcohol Program or something.
Hmm.
It's tax funded $5 million a year program for homeless people in San Francisco, so they can get free alcohol, free booze.
What?
It's a real program.
This sound
I
this
did a
sounds this sounds like
It sounds like an Onion article or something.
yeah.
No, I read about this today. Like I was researching on like the San Francisco Chronicle and stuff, like trying to like get from the source
Yeah.
and what they're doing, and yeah, they're giving glasses of wine, beer, shots of vodka. Those are your three options, and it's all about managing the addiction. So they're providing it for you. That's what they say. I don't
That's
get it. I don't get it at all.
yeah, that seems like a weird program that
It's a very weird program. I mean, I know there are similar programs like this, like especially in like sanctuary cities or places like that, where they have like, safe injection sites where they can provide needles for you, and there's like
yeah.
people there with Narcan and stuff. That makes a little more sense in a way, but this whole just like, hey, you got an alcohol problem? Let's get you boozed up.
Yeah.
The taxpayers got you.
Yeah.
It's
You're
on.
homeless, let's take the edge off. You got enough on your plate.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep on those benches, without like when you're sober. I don't know. I think it's a bad program, obviously, but
Yeah.
when I saw that headline, I was like, you know what? It deserves to be mocked on the podcast.
It
Um,
sounds like satire. That's crazy that it's not.
it does. It's so real. I had to like look at a few sources to make sure it wasn't one of these like you know, um, conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
A real thing. Look it up, people. It's pretty bizarre. Um, Yeah, I don't really have any other politics really worth talking about. I saw that the Biden administration did a good thing this week. I was like calling him out for doing a good thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think I know what you're
they
gonna
had
say.
this like big package of ammunition for Israel. and they said, you know what, we don't really like your plan. I don't know how to say it. I think it's like Rafa or something.
Yes. Yep. It just
And
starts with an R.
so they
I
said
remember
until we like get on the same page with what you want to
that.
do there, because there's like a million Palestinian civilians there. Why do you need all that ammo to go in there? So they said no ammo for you. I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, good job,
Yeah.
Biden administration, doing something compassionate.
I
I like
heard
that.
Benjamin Netanyahu in an interview with what's that, Dr. Phil. He was
Huh?
on Dr. Phil apparently, and he says in response, like I guess he didn't respond like to Biden directly or to the White
Mm-hmm.
House. He just on the Dr. Phil show, he's like he said he made it sound like they're still going to go through with like whatever invade like attack they were going to do on that city. Um,
It's wild,
yeah,
so wild. Um, Sad, disturbing situation. Really, it bums me out whenever I bring it up because it
yeah,
is just so disturbing and stuff. But I mean, at the same time, it's like it feels weird to also ignore it. You
yeah.
know?
No, I'm glad Biden did that because I honestly I was actually surprised he did because like I feel like
Yeah.
Israel's such like a divisive thing. Like I mean, both
Hmm.
sides want to support Israel, right? But like
Right.
you got to be willing to you can disagree with, decisions that
Hmm.
people in charge are making. I feel like that's the most patriotic thing you could do.
Like God bless America.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, we've been really critical about the current administration. So whenever there's something I agree with, I like to
Hmm.
give it a moment of being like, you know what, much respect.
All right.
Um. I don't have anything else on here that's like interesting.
All right. Let's do a little music segment where we talk about
Okay.
music here. I got a new
Okay.
toy.
Sweet.
It's the Boss Katana Go. It's a headphone amp.
Cool.
I was gonna compare it to this guy, the Fender Mustang Micro. I know both of us have this. We both
You
like
got
it a
it
lot.
for
I
me.
did get it
That
for
was a
you.
great gift, man. I use it probably like I don't know how it's like my daily driver, you know?
Hmm.
I don't usually just plug into an amp, but I use that thing all the time. I love the tone on this one. Like I got it so dialed in. You can
Yeah.
hear it in the outro music. I used it for
Oh,
the
you did? I
for
didn't
this.
realize that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that was all the tone came from that one single thing. No pedals, no software stuff. It was just that and my
Yeah.
guitar.
No, I love using these little headphone amps as a guitar
Yeah.
interface. Um,
Yeah.
mostly because also I don't I know last week we were talking about acronyms and you mentioned like plugins for your DAW.
Mm,
And
oh
I
yeah.
didn't know the extension probably because I know very little about how plugins work. I've messed with them in
Mm,
the past and I'm not good at it. Like I'm not
yeah.
good at getting them to work in the software. As somebody who works
Mm.
with computers all day, I apparently I
It's a
get
different
it's
it's
yeah.
a different thing though. Totally different.
Yeah. Maybe I just need to fumble through it some more, but yeah, I really like this thing. I feel like it's very similar to the Fender Mustang, but a couple things that are nice about this, it has a display. So
Oh,
like
cool.
and you have presets on the side where there's three different presets you can customize.
Hmm. It
Um
looks so similar. Like
it's
it
very
really does look like it's made by the same company,
yeah.
really.
I like that it has so yeah, I have this metal preset I made. The presets that come with it are pretty good, but you can actually customize these with an app. They have a Boss Katana Go app.
Hmm.
Um, that's what I liked about the Spark stuff. This is like the Spark amps
Hmm.
meets the Mustang Micro.
Yeah.
Um,
What's the price? What's the price point on these things? Similar?
this is about the same. So these are now $100. I think they were more when I first purchased mine. This is 110 or 120.
Okay.
But
I think that's about where I think that's where the Fender Mustang Micro started around 120.
yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're both rechargeable. They have a USB C out for recording,
Mhm.
and has a tuner too. This one's and a dedicated button
Nice.
that says stage feel, which basically is a reverb thing. Like it just has like different
What?
reverb presets on it. Yeah, it
Stage
says
field, or
stage feel.
proprietary little term for something.
Yeah,
Uh, that's cool.
yeah. No, I like it. I've been playing with it a lot.
Do you kind of have a preference like with one tone and like kind
Uh,
of like sound design over the other?
yeah. So okay. So so I made a metal one that I use for like just I like a lot of heavy distortion that's kind of bright sounding.
Right.
So
Same.
I made
Yeah.
this one metal riff, or I customized this one. This is one that I don't know if you can see it. I guess it doesn't stick around. 3A metal riff. I don't know how that name came up. That might just be the channel that it's on.
Okay.
Um, but there are some that came with it that I have not modified at all that I really like. This ambient clean one, like that's a preset on there. It's kind of hard to see. It
Okay.
says 3C. Oh, you know what it is? So these are all lettered A, B, C. I think you can
Right.
cycle through multiple presets. I think you get more than three. If I were to press this multiple times, I could probably go to another preset. See, I still don't know
Like,
everything about this.
yeah, it's like there's like I have mine right here. So like yeah, I think this one probably the way it's like different banks. I guess they just have it. They have it organized the same way I think Zoom does. Like Zoom pedals and stuff
Mhm.
usually have the ABC banks stuff, and you can cycle through those.
But
I
you
bet there's a
can't.
card. Like there's like a little card probably that came with it, and I bet that has like the whole thing, like a key or a legend, you know?
Yeah, so this one it's really meant to be used with the app. It did have a little
Mhm.
card about trying to sync it to their app, kind of like the Spark amps. That's why it's very similar
Yeah.
to that. But yeah, I think it did have a card with some presets. The Mustang Micro, I feel like the interface on this one, you have to know that card because it gives you the color, so you know what you're on.
R-
Like you wouldn't know what amp
Right.
model you're on. This thing will tell you on the screen what, amp you're using, and it'll tell you on your phone
I,
too when you sync it
I
to it.
like the screen. That is a nice thing to have.
The tuner thing is cool too. I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
If it had a loop option, I don't know how you would initiate the loop. That would be
Right.
really, really cool. It'd have everything. I don't know
Huh,
how you
how
would do
could
that though.
we snark tank this to make one of these little devices that has a functioning loop pedal that's easy to engage? Um, Probably there's a reason they don't put them on these things because I don't know
I
how it
don't know how
would.
you do it
Re-
either. Maybe with you,
yeah.
well, let's throw out buzzwords like AI. It'll have AI to handle
Oh yeah.
when to stop the loop. They're like, that sounds like the end of your little nugget.
Yeah. Maybe
So
it
loop it.
could. Yeah. Machine learning will do the looping for you. I don't know. I really can't think of a good way to make that function. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Do you have like a loop pedal though?
Um,
Like
I
a
I don't have a loop pedal. I've just been using like if I want to practice something, I've just been using my
Mhm.
laptop and just record it and then just loop it in the software and just hit play. But
Yeah.
it would be cool to have it coming out of the amp or
It is pretty fun. It's
yeah,
also just good practice.
yeah.
Um, I saw that Ed Sheeran, he does a lot of loop pedal stuff. He started his own hardware company. He's making like Sheeran loop pedals, and they look very cool.
Wow.
Pretty
Man, a
expensive.
lot of musicians are
I,
doing that. They're making their own music gear.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I have a TC Electric. I think it's TC Electric, right? It's the Ditto loop
The
pedal.
Ditto, yeah.
It's a good one. Um, it's a good one, except that I did have an issue. It did stop working. Kind of a big issue.
Oh.
And
Did you get it
it was
fixed?
just it was just outside of warranty. It was
Oh no.
crazy. I was like, that seems sort of like sneaky.
Yeah.
And I looked on Reddit because I was like, there's got to be some way that we could fix this, and everyone's like, they're all broken. Something about that whole like that model, that
Do
time
you
period,
does
everyone's just stopped working after like a couple
do you
years.
think they
So that
engineered it
sucked.
to break right
It
after
kind of
warranty? That's
it feels a little bit like that kind of forced archaic kind of like
yeah, there's a term for that. What is the
yeah. It's something like engineer. It's like engineering. It's a to fail have like a failure
yeah.
rate. Like it's somewhere built into it. I don't know. I think that they're like it's like a good really the build quality in the Ditto pedals is so nice, and like I had so many good experiences. I was kind of shocked that that happened, and also it's to so many people. Um, but yeah, I need
Yeah.
to break it out. I haven't played around with loops for a while. It is really good for just like when you're writing stuff, on top of your own stuff. It's like so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just typically just put this thing in and uh, dance around my apartment like I have stage presence, which I do not. I think you can attest to that.
It feels
I focus too much on playing.
well, I mean, well, you also have you write pretty complicated guitar parts, so
Sometimes sometimes I'm just grooving, but still,
Yeah.
I just look ridiculous. One time I remember I was practicing stage presence. This is an embarrassing story, but hey, story time on here is fun. Because now this is like forever on the internet. I was at home alone and I set up a camera with a tripod. Like this is like 2002, 2001, 2002. So I'm a goofball, right? And I'm practicing stage presence on camera. I'm like jumping, I'm swinging my guitar and doing all this stuff. And then my sister walked in and she was standing there just watching me like this. And until I turned around and I was like, oh, like that. And this is what she says. This is how funny Molly is. She says, "This must be a really embarrassing moment for you." Uh, I'm pretty sure I have the tape. I think I have the tape, dude. I just got a lot of my stuff digitized, and I'm pretty sure I have that.
Dude, post that on
It's
YouTube.
it is
That would be really
so
funny.
embarrassing. It's when I have like Lance Bass hair, you know, like it's
Frosted
all
tips.
frosted tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I have this weird style because I'm wearing like Abercrombie, but then I'm also wearing like one of those little like AFI, like kind of tennis, not tennis bracelets, like the sweatband
Yeah.
things. I'm wearing like AFI sweatband, Abercrombie shirt, frosted tips, and board shorts. I'm like, what am I? And I'm like playing like pop punk music, like kind of little things, and just trying to like get good at moving. It's it's one of the lowest points in my life, Kevin. I mean, and it's on tape. I really should find it.
I'm actually surprised you didn't record over it, like out of,
No, back then I had a lot of false confidence, or like like I didn't know how embarrassing of a person I was yet.
yeah, when you're
Anyway.
young, we've all been there. But that is a funny story. This must be really embarrassing for you.
She just said it so like matter of fact, like kind of like Daria or something, and like it was just like deadpan. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's very funny. Funny moment from my sister Molly.
Well, I, if you want, we can go ahead and play the Trump um, tier list, the nickname tier list.
I
You
like
into that?
this. This is a good idea. This is
Yeah.
probably clip worthy, I think,
Hope,
as well.
yeah. Hopefully. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, I saw there's like a whole like very thorough Wikipedia um not article, like Wikipedia entry about all Trump's nicknames and also their
I
validity, like
Yeah.
the ones that he says he claims he didn't say. Those are some of my favorite ones. Like I think it was like Pete Buttigieg had like Alfred E. Newman, the Mad TV or Mad Magazine guy, and I was like, but I think it said under it, so like it's like he didn't say he said that. Actually, I was like, that's a funny one though. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of the game.
Right, it may be on here. Um, Dude, to start out, what if let's throw some of our favorites. I know we usually go backwards. I don't really know enough
Yeah.
about the bad ones. Um, I like,
I see right in the middle, Little Marco. That's one of them that's so classic. I feel like that's one of his like greatest hits too.
where's
Little
Little Marco?
Marco.
Where's it next to? Oh,
Right
okay.
above you,
I
right
see.
above. Yeah.
What do you think? B or A? What do you?
Put it at B. I think when we do that, when we like put things around like the B's and D's, and then we move them up and down, it gets organized nicely.
Yeah.
That's such a funny one. That's like, oh man, we should have practiced our Trump accents so we can like do them, like do the impression, like little Marco with his little water bottle. It's sad, sad. That's how it sounded though when he said it. He's like, oh man, that was a great one.
I really like Meatball Ron.
Meatball Ron's pretty great, yeah. um, Lion's Head, Lion's Head's a good one. Uh,
Where's Lion Ted?
it was like right. It was like it's the very middle, top row. Pretty much where Little Marco was, just above it. Up, top, top. Keep
Oh,
going
I
up,
see it. Yeah, I was
up.
looking down over
Yeah.
here. I see it.
So see, some of these are like so lazy. You know, the ones that are repetitive.
Honestly, I kind of
And
feel that way about Crooked Biden. I feel like that's way too lazy. Like
right,
Crooked Hillary, that's a
it is.
classic.
It's a classic. Yeah, Crooked Hillary is probably A tier.
Yeah.
Um, top top right corner, I see Low Energy Jeb. That's another pretty important one.
Crooked Hillary. I'm gonna
Uh,
throw that up an A.
Oh, I
Um,
see Alfred E. Newman. Okay, so second row. Just go to the second row over fifth. Yeah, there you
he,
go. Um. Oh, I like these. The one for 38, John. The one for 38, and then there was like one for 44. Those were the John Kasich ones,
oh yeah,
where it was like he got like I forget. It was something about like how he was getting
barely one or one
like
electoral
one.
or
Yeah, I
one
think it was something
delegate.
like that.
Yeah,
Uh. Mm,
he does crazy a lot. I feel like the crazy ones are. I'm gonna put those for
crazy.
C. Crazy Liz, crazy Hillary,
Yeah.
crazy
Crazy
Maxine,
Nancy. Crazy. Uh. Crying Chuck.
crying.
Slow Joe.
Sleepy Joe's good. That's
Sleepy Joe's better. Yeah.
yeah. Where is Sleepy Joe in
Fake,
this list?
fake news CNN. That is definitely greatest hits worthy. Like that's he coined a phrase that we all started using. You know
Yeah. I'm a fan of Clinton News Network. I think that's a funny acronym, but I know he didn't make
that's
that. That's been around a long time.
yeah yeah that was the one my parents used to say like in Sunday mornings when they were watching C-SPAN and CNN and stuff, and Bill Clinton was up to his tricks.
Yeah.
Um,
This sounds sweet. My Bush for George.
Uh, I see Sleepy Joe now. Second row. 2, 4, it's like more towards the right side. Keep
Oh,
going over. Keep going.
Sleepy
There you
Joe.
go. Some of these I've just never heard of, and I don't even understand the context.
Justin from
Um,
Canada. That's
that's
not a
lazy.
nickname. That
That's
just seems
lazy, Trump.
maybe
Yeah,
some of
that's a.
the I don't know shady James Comey.
Some of them are just so lazy, and like he just like phoned it in that I don't even want to put them on the
Oh,
board.
I yeah. There's so many. I think this one's
And
funny.
there's
Little Michael.
little
Michael
Michael
Bloomberg
Bloomberg.
is he is a small man. I'll put it C for now. He had a
I would have
couple
probably called it. I would have called him Little Mike. I think just to even like make it more diminished. Like I
Mini
don't know,
Mike is funny. That's I like the
Mini
alliteration.
Mike.
I'm gonna throw that
Yeah,
in B.
alliterations are good.
Yeah.
Uh, Horseface Stormy Daniels. It's so mean.
Uh,
Uh,
he
damn.
was she wasn't too ugly for him apparently. I don't know.
uh, my Bush, George P. Bush. My Bush. That's the last one. I don't know what that
I
one
don't know what that means
is.
either, but I can't tell if he's just being sweet.
It
He's like
sounds
my
like
bush. Like it's like oh he's
yeah.
being
No, I think
nice.
he's saying like. I think he's saying like probably against like compared to Jeb. Like, oh, this is my Bush. Like
He's like
like
writing his like Trump on the bottom of his shoe. My bush.
um
I really like Rocket Man. Where's that one at for?
it's on the top row. It's next to Clinton News Network where you were up on the top
Oh yeah,
row.
I see.
Yeah.
I I I like that one a lot.
Oh, Pocahontas, Elizabeth
Oh,
Warren.
that
That's a
one's a good
that's a
one.
pretty that's a famous one.
Yeah. We'll rearrange them. I'm throwing some of the ones that I think are good up at the top.
Yeah.
Wait.
Uh
So they do have Clinton News Network on here, but he didn't make that up. I'm not gonna.
no, no. It makes me wonder if some of these other ones are falsely attributed to Trump.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like Phony Fanny. I don't know if he actually said that. I think that might just be something that people think he would say because it sounds Trumpian in nature.
I don't know, man. I
Phony
found this on
Fanny.
the internet. It's gotta be
I mean, it's got
real.
to be true, right?
Yeah.
Sort of true. Avita, AOC's Avita. Was that like? I think he was kind of just like maybe it was like a "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" reference. I think that's what it was coming from. I don't know.
Where would you rank that? I don't know if I've ever.
Mm, It's not his best. It doesn't even make sense. She's not Argentinian.
Yeah.
Argentine. I don't know if put that in the comments. How do you say it? Argentinian?
Crazy Bernie's
Argentinian?
kind of a classic too. I remember.
Yeah, great. And also the
Crazy
way
Bernie.
something about the way he said it too. I felt like there was a level of respect in it. Like something about that. I don't know. I'm probably reading into it. There was.
You think he was saying like he's doing crazy good stuff?
Yeah, I don't think it's the same as like one of his like sort of like burns. You know, I think he's
Crooked
like
or
he's a crazy
sleepy.
old man. You
Yeah.
know, like uh
There's Little Rocket Man. I think Rocket Man is better. I guess Little Rocket
yeah.
Man it is making fun
Oh,
of
and Crooked
this.
Joe Biden next to that, because that is better than I like Sleepy Joe, but Crooked Joe Biden, I mean, like it has become
Hmm.
more mainstream. I know it's not as good as Hillary, but it's still it has to we have to compare them. Um, I don't know. Is there anything else you see there
A
that
nickname for
like really?
himself, a very stable genius.
Oh, that's a funny one. Yeah, that's a good one. uh, he said so many crazy things, man.
Yeah. I think we might be if we could see real quick if there's any other ones
Yeah,
looking
I'm
at.
okay with just like arranging the ones we have
It,
because the rest, I think some of these are
I
repetitive.
just I just want to bring one up that I saw and we don't have to rank it, but I've
Okay,
never heard of this. The Lincoln Pervert Project. Has he ever
I've
said
never
that?
heard that one. I don't think he's ever said that one. That doesn't sound like his kind of a roast joke.
Lincoln Pervert Project.
Like I'm trying to get in my head the Trump voice, and I'm thinking of he's like, you can't trust them. The Lincoln Pervert Project. That doesn't sound like how
Yeah.
he would say
It's
something. It's
I know they're not they're anti-Trump for sure,
yeah,
but that makes me
I
want to
yeah
find a
that
clip of him saying that because that just sounds fake.
yeah I think like just like the CNN one. I think these are falsely attributed.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
especially when like it doesn't have like sometimes you'll see like phony Fanny. That's another one I'm pretty sure, and those don't have like for some it's Young Kim, Jeff Flakey. Like it doesn't even say. I don't know something about that. There's a difference in the way these are presented.
Yeah.
All right, well let's just get the ones we have here in order. Um, okay, so uh,
Do we start from the top? Like what is the what do you think the best?
I was gonna say Crooked Hillary is definitely A tier.
Yeah.
Crooked Joe Biden I think is F tier because he recycled it. You
Yeah.
know. Um, fake news CNN that's pretty A tier because that's become like part of the
Yeah.
zeitgeist, the nomenclature. Sleepy Joe, funny.
It's accurate too.
Uh, Pocahontas, funny. What
Rocketman.
sucks about him is he is funny. I hate to admit it, but he is so entertaining. I just wish he kept it on TV and not in Washington. You know,
Yeah.
uh, Little Marco's pretty. I mean, these are all so funny.
You know, I kind of want to bring Meatball Ron to A tier. Is that
Yeah,
bad?
let's do it. Let's do it.
I just think it's a funny nickname.
I would put like a 1 for 38 like that probably like C, you know. It's very on the
Oh,
nose,
yeah, yeah.
you know, something like that. Same with like Alfred E. Newman. That one's pretty funny. I got to look it up and see if he actually said it though. Uh um Mini Mike Bloomberg, I kind of want to bump that down like a little bit because I don't remember it as much. But
I
maybe that's
don't
just
remember
me.
that either. It is
It is
funny.
funny.
He's a little man. He is like a hobbit man.
Well, I think we should actually probably have Little Mike or Mini Mike or Little Michael. Like we should think of those like competing against each other. They can't be the same. One is better.
Good
Um,
point.
Little Michael
Mini Mike's fun
or
with the
Mini Mike's better
alliteration.
because it's an alliteration. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Give that a bump up and then keep the other one at C.
yeah.
Um, Crazy Maxine Waters. I don't know if he said that. Like, did he?
I think he's called a
I don't
lot of
feel like
women crazy
yeah,
and
but
men.
I don't think that he does. I don't think he does that where he says the full like last name. He'd be like Crazy Maxine. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the way he. That's the way he does it. He's like it's like short little like.
Should I take it off? You think just actually
I would
remove
put
it?
it down at F because it's just like it is repetitive crazy stuff, and also it just doesn't sound like it's in his voice to me.
If we do that, should we
Uh,
also demote
Crazy
Crazy
Liz
Liz
Cheney should go
Cheney?
down too. Crazy Hillary. I mean, I think Crooked Hillary is the one he's famous for.
Yeah, well we
Crazy Hillary.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
Crooked Hillary is at the top. So I like that we're calling him out on his lazy joke writing. Um,
he's done better. He can do better. I expect more out of him.
yeah, 4 more years. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There's some people right now who are like, who, if we do make this a clip, they're gonna be like, heck yeah, these guys are based, and they don't realize that I'm just mocking them. That was funny about the clips, dude. Is like so many people did not like they didn't like investigate further.
Oh, I know.
There's
It's
like
like you should do one for Biden. It's like we literally just uploaded that one
yeah,
yesterday,
yeah,
or they'll comment on something from yesterday, and it was something we uploaded today. But I
right,
guess they're not subscribers, so they wouldn't know.
right. They're just looking at they caught the short and they're just like,
Yeah,
hey, I appreciate them engaging with it. That was fun
yeah.
reading all those crazy
Hey,
comments.
good or
Um,
bad, it counts as engagement. That's what we want.
yeah. Uh, I don't really have any more strong opinions. I mean, maybe I would just sort of do things like,
I'm still looking at the horse
uh,
face Stormy Daniels one. I think it just
it's really
sounds funny,
funny.
but I don't. Did he say that? Do we?
I think he did. I
Okay.
actually do think I remember
We
this
bump that up.
one.
Let's bump that up to B.
Yeah, it's also very topical, you know?
It is, yeah, with her in the trial. Is she done? Are they gonna have her testify anymore? I don't know.
Uh, I I'm not up to date.
I'm not up to date either.
Uh, well, I don't know. Mm, Meatball Ron is so funny. I wonder how he got there. Like,
There
like,
was a funny Daily Show skit where they 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 use that nickname. They're like, we got to think of a
mhm,
nickname. They try to like pretend like they were brainstorming with Trump.
yeah.
Um, I actually watched it
I
today. I didn't know it existed. Um, but it's pretty
I
funny.
liked that video. The Bad Lip Reading channel.
Hmm.
They did a video with Ron DeSantis where he's like at a table and he's like eating. He goes, "Me so hungry" or something like that. Or it's something like that. But I saw so many. It's such a good bad lip reading that like a lot of people have reposted it
Hmm.
and be like, this guy's like a cartoon character. It's like no, it's from another YouTube channel. It's a parody,
Oh,
but it's so
they didn't
good.
realize that it was a
No, a lot
bad
of
lip
people
read.
just thought it was because
Oh my
he's the
gosh.
way it might even be just him going hungry or something, but it's like something funny about it. I don't know. I thought maybe that's where the meatball thing comes from. Like I don't know. Uh,
I did see Ron DeSantis in that the bad lip reading when he was at one of the debates, and he's
uh
like act normal, you're normal, like
right, yeah, yeah,
that one was really funny.
yeah. That was a really brutal video to watch. It gave me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
I remember we talked about it back then, but it was so interesting to see like he was flanked by Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy, and like they were just so chill. Vivek's just like writing notes, kind of looking around, smiling at people. And Nikki Haley was just getting her hair done, just like so casual. And Ron was just like wiping sweat off his hands and just twitching and then pretending like his phone for a second. It was so nervous energy. It made me
Yeah.
like, oh,
I was
poor guy.
secondhand embarrassed for him for sure. It's funny you brought up Vivek. Did you
Yeah.
hear about Ann Coulter?
Uh-uh.
Like she basic she basically said something racist because she's like I wouldn't vote for you. I agree with you on policies because he was like interviewing her this past week for something on
Uh-huh.
his I don't know if he has a podcast, but he was on his show, and she's like I wouldn't vote for you though because you're Indian. Dude,
There was no like,
she didn't say but or anything. It was just like she did say I'll explain later or something like that, and I but like
oh,
it's
geez.
she was just asking to like there's a bunch of like
That
news
just
networks
like
that are talking about it right now.
that just like snuck out of her. That was something in her, and she just like didn't have her guard up high enough, and it just snuck out of her. So she's a probably a racist person.
Oh,
That
for
just like
sure.
that's crazy, dude. Man.
Yeah, I don't know if she's
Um.
publicly said anything since then, like to be like I didn't mean what I said, I misspoke or yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that's bad.
it
That's
was
really
pretty funny.
bad. Uh, I don't know. Do you want to do any like rearranging here? Are you liking it?
I'm liking it.
I'm okay with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah, let's put this on Voyager, send it
All right.
out, be like we did it. We speak for
And then
humanity.
the and then the aliens will find it, and they'll be like, "Let's not go to this planet. This is a weird place."
Uh, all right. Well,
That was a fun tier list. I like doing tier lists. It's been a while, and this was a good one.
yeah, I have some other ideas for things we could do.
Yeah.
I was thinking doing like one where we rank things that we think ladies like I we know of
Mhm.
like I know of things that my wife likes, like Pinterest, The Sims.
Right.
I feel like a lot of these are almost universal. I know they don't apply to all women, but
No, that's a good idea. Yeah.
and it would be
Like
funny as, just having two guys.
the guy perspective would be
Yeah.
funny.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
I'm into that.
But yeah, all right. Well, I think we will wrap this up. Um, thanks for watching,
Okay.
everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Bye everyone.